And here in the U.S., we have our own problems here, and that's the Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. Now, remember, the vaccine manufacturers have immunity from liability, and they go into this special court, and this court during COVID-19 is being, not the court, but the injuries are being overwhelmed is the word they use. And this is Politico, mainstream reporting here. This is the title: Vaccine Injury Compensation Programs Overwhelmed as Congressional Reform Languishes. Now, we saw this coming from a mile away, and this is what the report says. This is kind of sad to see this now, but a pair of federal programs compensating people who suffer injuries from vaccines and pandemic treatments are now facing so many claims that thousands of people may not receive payments for their injuries anytime soon. The first program, meant for standard vaccines such as measles and polio, has too little staff to handle the number of reported injuries, and thousands of patients are waiting years for their cases to be heard. Between 2010 and 2020, the Countermeasures Injury Compensation Program received 500 complaints. In the 2 years since COVID-19 appeared, it has received over 8,000 complaints. And of course, that Countermeasures program is the one that deals with the emergency pandemic vaccine. And it says, should COVID-19 shots become routine once the pandemic ends, alleged injuries would eventually be handled by the already overburdened standard vaccine injury compensation program. Patient advocates, attorneys in the pharmaceutical industry fear that without drastic reforms, the program could collapse. Despite bipartisan calls for change, Congress has failed to act, frustrating those who say that the VICP, which covers nearly 3 times as many vaccines today as it did when it was created 3 decades ago, is overwhelmed. Full stop.
That is an amazing article.